In the show, Niall Horan creates the beginnings of selfhood. Niall Horan has been plagued by the ghost of boy bands past for years. Every magazine feature, television appearance, and radio interview forces the poor Irish guy to focus on One Direction's glory days rather than his own solo releases, despite the fact that it has been nearly a decade since the trio announced its hiatus. Horan has failed to escape the X Factor spotlight. Horan has yet to crack the top 10 like his chart-topping peer who must not be named. This has made it even more difficult for him to distinguish himself from other developing pop artists, particularly his famous former co-workers. While the artist is still in the midst of his solo discovery, his latest project, The Show, marks his biggest steps towards selfdom yet. The 10-track album gives a more earnest look into both Horan's personal life and his professional sonic development. Opening act, Heaven, doubles as the album's lead single and lives up to its namesake. The upbeat composition is backed by dreamy Horan harmonies that seamlessly carry on throughout the track. God Only Knows Where This Could Go repeats the Beach Boys-inspired croon, as Horan hones more rock influences that have carried throughout his career, further separating himself from One Direction's bubblegum pop sound. Horan pours bouts of hard-hitting percussion alongside more thoughtful, though equally catchy, lyrics. Similarly, second single Meltdown displays Horan's skill in earworm craftsmanship. While on the brink of more complex themes, like comforting one in the face of hardships, the song's lively production and uncomplicated lyrics are just simple enough for radio wave replays. However, Horan's evolution as an introspective songwriter becomes more apparent in some of the show's later numbers. Science, a Coldplay-esque ballad, once again offers reassurance toward thoughts of loneliness and defeat. The show chronicles the artist's anxieties and frustrations of having to paint a smile in the public's view. Borrowing from longtime friend Styles' own toolbox, Horan collaborated with writers like Harry's House alumni Amy Allen and Tobias Jesso Jr. While his own numbers don't quite yet meet the standards of Little Freak or Matilda, progression is nonetheless evident. Horan is a late bloomer in terms of solo career establishment, but still makes it clear he now knows where his creative voice is headed. Growth can be observed in all elements of Horan's third solo album. But what truly distinguishes the show are its instrumentals and production style. The album's 30-minute length includes melancholy violins, soft acoustic guitar, and 80-second synth. Despite the variety, Horan never feels out of place or unconquerable. Each track's piled components combine into a lovely symphony. Each sound transfers well into the next as the album advances between styles and tones. Horan appears to be leading listeners through a series of auditory showcases rather than a continuous verbal narrative. Horan's concert career, like that of many other performers, was cut short by the COVID-19 epidemic. With nearly 3 years to think things out, it's evident the album isn't the largest stylistic leap in music history, but introduces enough changes to make a point in trying. Each new song still contains the underlying essence Horan has cranked out since 2017's Seconds Flicker while bringing more comprehensive aspects to light. The show gives a closer look at Horan discovering his sound as he nears his 30 seconds. The Irishman, albeit delayed, has begun to strengthen his confidence, increase his compositional knowledge and make a steady shift toward newfound openness. This artist's recent redefinition may not seem impressive as an individual production, but surely marks a new kind of debut for the solo star.